going to talk about. I want to address our stunt defense, and I've got some film here which we can take a look at, which will talk about the blitz stuff. All right. Now, I break all. Let me tell you something. I try to always keep things in what I call big picture status. I think the number one thing is whether you're blocking fronts or cover or running routes, is your players have to understand the concept of what 3 deep is. Your players have to understand the concept of what a 4-3 is. What's the concept? You know, what does that defense have as a strength and what it has as a weakness? Because if they understand that, then as they do their concepts on offense, they get a big, what I call the big picture stuff, all right? Every time you get a defense, it's a little foreign to you. Yo, boy, we ain't seen this stuff. Two things. If you know a team's going to do it ahead of time, then you better get some stuff in the summer and get yourself a preliminary plan, because what happens too many times is you kind of know they're a little bit different, and you kind of wait to that week before, you know, the week you're going to get ready for them. And it's too hard to mentally transfer a lot of the stuff you've been doing all week. Now all of a sudden we're going to change, and we're going to do all this stuff, and you're changing, and it's not good. It's just not good. All right? So what you want to do is understand their base philosophy and get some preliminary thoughts in the summer of how you want to attack them. That way, when you get in there, you already know what you're going to change, what you're going to leave the same, and it gives the players a good feeling. Because what happens is, too many times you put some shit in, you think, well, I think this stuff's going to work, and you go out and practice it, and it looks like shit, and the players know it looks like shit, and no one's doing it right, and the first thing you do is you throw it out. And then when you throw shit out like that, the players start going, you know, hey, just yesterday he told us this was the greatest shit since sliced bread, and that's how we're going to beat him, and he's throwing it out today, you know? So either we're fucked up or he's fucked up. You know what I mean? You want to create some confidence in the players, so you got to kind of find out what's going on. Why do they do it? Number one, stunt defenses do what? Pressure. They're trying to figure out a way to pressure and not get blocked. Now you might have a big offensive line. Hey, what they want to do is create some free guys so that they can create a big play on defense. It disrupts your blocking schemes. That's the whole point. You know, you're a zone scheme, you can't block them. They walk the linebackers up, there's no such thing as zone anymore. They walk the line, hey, they cover two, you know, your right guard, your right tackle, and they run a twist. Well, you can't zone it. Okay, I mean, you're stuck. So, all right, the purpose of pressure stunt is defeating zone principles. I mentioned that, okay? All right, now, this is a defense, and we see now Penn State's running this, Ohio State's running it, Oregon even ran some of it. I got a shot of Oregon running it. When they line up like this, there's no bubbles to zone. So if this guy right here says, well, I'm going to put my hat on this guy's outside shoulder, and this guy, and I got him, hey, but he says, well, I'm going to protect this guy from the slant, so he steps here, and that guy runs through, we got a problem. You understand? So he's really got to eyeball this guy, and he's got to eyeball that guy. He can't be helping the next guy with the guy sitting right here. So why don't you stand up here for a second? And let's just say I'm the center, okay? And here's this guy, that's a Mike linebacker, and he's only off about a yard. And there's a tackle right there. And he's on the back feet of this defensive tackle. Well, I'm sitting there with the ball right here, and I'm going, well, coach told me that I'm supposed to zone here to there. So that guy's up, and I go like this. I mean, he's in right now. Free spot, okay? Now, so I go, okay, I can't do that, so here's what I do now. I short step, and no, stay back here now. I'm running this show, okay? You got that? Hey, how big are you? Look. You see that big son of a bitch over there? See that striped shirt? Now, if you get him up here with you, then you guys are running the show. Okay? But right now, I'm running the show. All right? Here we go. All right. Now, you're going to read the back here. Okay? And so I think, well, you know what? I'm going to man it now. Man it. So I start to step at you, but you see the back go here, so now you're stepping off the back feet of this tackle right here. Freddie, come on up here and be the tackle. He's that tackle right there. So he's lined up to the right and getting 3-point stance. All right? You're on the back, his back feet. Now, if I zone here, you're going to run through. Okay? So I go, okay, I can't zone because you might run through. So now what I'm going to do is, coach says, well, just take it to line of scrimmage. So I step right here, but as I step, you're watching what? The back. So hey, I don't give you a run through, so now what do? You go hide behind him. All right? So I step like this. I can't get you here either. All he's doing is what? He's suckering my block. As I step into him, he just steps in behind here, and I can't block him. That's what we're seeing now, and a lot in the Big Ten now. Everybody's, we call it up defense. Guys are getting up the line of scrimmage, and so you're sitting there going, for line coaches, how do you block that? How do you block it? Huh? Here's two ways that you block it. Okay? Number one, you run gap scheme plays. Gap scheme plays. Where you got a little counter action in the backfield, and you run gap scheme plays. Because they want to sucker your block, but they're also trying to read the back, and they're going to fast flow according to what the back does. So if you run a gap scheme play, and the backs will counter step, they will actually help you block them away from what you're doing. Okay, that's one. Two is if you want to run plays at that defense and not gap scheme, then you are man scheme. Man scheme. Not man on man, man scheme. Which means I got that linebacker. I'm the center. This is the hardest thing for a center to do now. I got the linebacker on the center. When I snap the ball, the play's going this way, I'm pulling. With my shoulders what? You want to run through it, take it right here. You want to go over the top, I'll run around the guards blocking you. So what I'm doing is basically saying, hey, you're going to play up, I'm going to play mirror. You're going to play back, I zone. You're going to play up, we run gap schemes. So that's what you have to do. And that's what I've had the most success with. And this is funny because I talked about this once before. And matter of fact, there's a film of me talking at the Pennsylvania clinic. And I looked up and there was a guy from Ohio State there. And I knew that they run this shit. So I said, and how I knew that he was an Ohio State guy was there is I looked up and the guy next to him says, well, what do you think are the best plays into that? And I looked up and I was going to tell the guy, hey, gap schemes or mirror man, okay? And I looked up and I saw a guy and I said, you know what? Nothing works against that shit. I said, I'm surprised I'm even up here talking about it. I'm hoping you guys got some ideas. They all laughed, but they were like, what the hell? You just what your topic is, you don't know what the shit is. I was trying to figure out how to tell him something without telling that guy something. Because I didn't want him to know what my philosophies were. Because, shoot, I mean, you know, we could be in a critical game, and they walk a guy up, and they know exactly what we're going to do. You know, so I was kind of stuck. So you know what I did? I changed the topic to screens. Sorry. Okay, that is a thought there now. Let me grab this right here. Okay. All right. This is what we call a stunt 4-3. This is the defense that George Perlis and the Pittsburgh Steelers made famous. This was also used to defeat man principles and or zone principles, because when you cover 2 down linemen like this, now you can't zone. Okay? Well, the first thing I tell my guys is can we read the flex? Can you read the flex? If this guy's flexed off, then we treat him like a linebacker and we do what? He's up, mirror man, mirror man. Exactly right. It's mirror man now. Okay? So he'll pull and actually try to pick that guy up. All right? And we don't see this defense near like we used to. Now, if we can't read the flex, they're playing tight, we're going to run gap schemes. And the biggest gap scheme that worked against this deal, and we used to do it when I was in Kansas, Iowa State ran this and Toledo ran it. One of the easiest things we did, which is really simple, we took this guy right here, and we knew that we would actually put an extra tight end in the game, and whichever side the bubble was, okay? So whichever side the bubble was, we ran the ISO at the bubble. So here's what we do. Extra tight end would go in the game, and here's what we do. That guy was tilted, so he normally did what? Ran the center, kept the center off the linebacker, and what we did is we went like this. He ran there, he ran there, he ran there, and he blocked corner number 8, okay? What he did is he tried to overplay this guy, so that created what? A lot of movement right there. We ran base, base. That guy had a huge ass hole to try to stop the ISO, because all these linemen on the snap were running this way. It was almost like they're going naked, and they were blocking. And you know what? It was easy. Hey, I stepped here, he came there, he took, hey, if that guy was soft, I got him on the way, he's soft, got him on the way back. So it took care of all the little bullshit stunts they ran, because we were just running a what scheme? Gap scheme. Everybody gaps back. So again, gap schemes is what you have to have as your first thought when you get into defenses that like to do all the stuff. You got to come up with a gap scheme for your ISO. Because if you try to base that stuff, this stuff, here's what happens. He'll go out after this guy, and he leaves. And so he's kind of soft. And he's on him, but he's moving that way. This guy steps off, and he's attacking this area right here. Now you can't keep him out. You can't keep him out of there's always a guy that's kind of half free, you know? And so you have to have things. One of the things we did like against us too is we did this too. All right, and they just blocked. Hey, he just ran from his near number, and he went for his near number. If his near number went away, he took the next guy, and we ran a quick fullback play like this, and try to get on that guy. Sometimes we wouldn't even get this guy. Sometimes he'd be right here, but the ball hit so fast in that area that, hey, but what are you doing? Gap, gap, kick out. Okay? So again, you can handle some of it with your gap principles. And if you try to man it, it's no good. If you try to zone it, you're going to get in trouble. Like I said, if you read the flex, you can still stay with some man principles. You can even still stay with some zone principles if you're not worried about the what? The run through. You say, I don't care, look, he's flexed, don't worry about him. As long as he's flexed, a tackle, normally when he's flexed, he's not going to run through. So you normally, now you just say, go to the zone principle, you cover the inside leg of the tackle, and the tackle will come off, and if that guy slants, he'll pick the looper up. So if you can read it, which a lot of times that's what we try to do initially, that helps. Okay. Has anybody got any questions on that? All right. This is one of the defenses that we're seeing quite a bit. What's this defense? Anybody recognize that one? Huh? Anybody recognize that? You guys should recognize that out here.
U of A.
Huh?
U of A.
U of A's defense. It's Desert Storm right there. Okay, now, it might not be the exact personnel they use, but what they do is they got a 4-man weak side, and there's their 8-man front. That's how they get their 8-man front. And everybody who tries to attack this front always tries to attack strong. They know that. They know that. Everybody who tries to attack this front always tries to attack it strong. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I can take 1, 2, 3, 4 blockers and block 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 and 4, we're good shape, okay? Over here, I go 1, 2, or I can get a half guy on this guy, right? So I go 1, 2, 3, and I got those 3 guys, but what's he? He's what to the play? He's shaded to the call side. He's shaded to the call side, and he's protected. And he's protected. He's shaded to the call side, and he's protected. So even though I can get this one, that one, that one, and that one on those guys, they're all leveraged to that side. Okay? So what we try to, and we've tried a couple of different things, but the biggest thing we thought that worked against this was taking our big tackle and blocking this guy down. Why? Because, hey, the center tries to do what? Tries to take this guy, and he can't, he can't keep from going that way because he's shaded. But he runs him into what? The down block. Guard, drop steps on the wheel. Fullback, go for this guy's outside leg because he's the what of the defense. Contain. So he gets up the field and run your ISO or sprint draw or whatever you want to run like that. That's your best chance against that. Now, you know what's funny is they don't think he'll do that stuff. They don't think he'll do it because if you look at the numbers, you go, I'm not supposed to run over there. But here's what helps. That down block helps eliminate this guy too. So all he's got to do is, kind of run that shit into each other right there, and you got an angle. So what you got now, you got a chance with him trying to attack the guy's outside leg. And basically, he's just reading it. So if he goes underneath, he'll bounce outside too. Okay, but that's not a bad thought against it. Everybody likes to toss sweep over here or strong side ISO, but I think, and against Indiana, we did this against Indiana, and it was pretty good for us. Pretty good for us. Okay, Indiana runs a lot of this stuff. And now you know who else runs it? Penn State. And I got some clips of them running it, and we like the power play. We just ran the power play, and here's what it didn't matter. See, they'll do it either side. That's a weak side stack look, and then they can do it the strong side. All they do is flip the whole thing around, and they'll put this Mike here, and Will back, or Sam back here like that, and they go to weak eagle look, right? Okay. Now, the other play we like to run against him is this. We pulled him. He blocked back. Now, when you pull him, what's his first thought? Run through. So what we basically told this guy is what? Don't worry about alley hinge on the backside. So we're gonna run the power play. We're gonna go like this. Block that, and you are gonna come right in here hard and block this right here. Basically, we knew this guy was the contain of the defense. They did not want this guy going down here because he had to stop reverse and those kind of things. So we understood the what of the defense, the concept of the philosophy. So we know that he wouldn't do that. So we attacked this guy with the tackle right there. He just came in there, tried to get low, hard after him, okay? And we let this guy go because he came upfield and checked the quarterback on the, like that, and then played the play. So we did that. Put him on the front side right there. Fullback kicked out the defensive end, and we ran the power play, and we had success running the power play. But you know why we had success? We understood the concept. We also knew that he would run through, and we also knew that he had contained, and we also know this. Normally, as an offensive coach, you got a center here with the backside shade, and the backside guard's covered, you never what? You never pull the backside. I mean, you can't pull. If you got a backside shake and the backside guard's covered, normally your first thing is, oh, we can't pull on that play, so we got to check out. But because we understand the concept of the defense, we were able to go ahead and pull the guard, cover for the run through. And if this guy does this, then his job was to pick him up. That was his first job, was to pick up the looping. You see that? You pick up the looper right there, okay? So as he came off, he had backside. I called it whenever they're in this defense, instead of going your work here to backside backer, I said you go here, looper, backside backer, okay? All right, he never had the looper, the tight end. So he went through here, he had Sam with a blitz to backside backer, okay? So that's how we block it. All right, we had some success with that, okay? Now, again, what kind of a play is a power play? What is it? Gap play. So, again, I'm going to tell you, most of these stunt defenses have problems with the gap play, but you have to understand a little bit about the defense so that you can successfully block it. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Okay? Theory of football, right, fellas? Does anybody understand the theory of football? This is theory of football. Hey, all you guys should know this. This is theory of football 101. Okay? This is how offense and defensive schemes were created. Boom. Offensive man, 220 pounds. Comes off of my 215-pound tackle. Knocks him back. Back runs for a touchdown. Okay? All right. Defense says, all right, that's fine. Take your 220-pound tackle versus our 240-pound defensive tackle. Back, boom, feeds him, hits a back ball carrier, fumble, defense gets the ball. Okay? Offense says, well, you know what? We're going to take our guy here against your guy right there. And our guy now weighs 265 against your 240-pounder. And we're going to crush him back like that. And our guy's going to run for a touchdown. You kind of follow me? Huh? Because I can help you get the real big picture here in a second. All right? Because then they take their fucking tackle now. 265, he's 280. And he crushes this guy, goes in the backfield, causes a fumble, and they get the ball back. Which I follow up with my guy. Okay? Now you understand? That's 101. Once you understand that, hey, my guy's bigger, my guy's faster, my guy's stronger, you're in frickin' trouble. Okay? And that's what happens. Sometimes we draw stuff up all the time, and I'll throw the film on, and I want one of those guys who cranks and brings in a film of all the perfect plays. I never do that. I bring in films normally of what's working, kind of show you how it got defeated or whatever. And I'll be damned, some guy doesn't go, hey coach, you've been clinicking us for an hour now we're watching this film, and he says, shit, your right tackle, he's having problems. I said, well, no shit. He's lined up, the guy over him's an All-American, and he's kicking my guy's ass. And you know what? When that guy kicks my guy's ass, that play don't work. It don't work. So you have to be good enough to run some plays, and that's one thing I like about gap plays. You are actually, when you gap, there's really no one-on-one situation created. Guys are moving, and it kind of looks like backside cutoff initially. And so guys they're not trying to defeat me at the line of scrimmage. They're trying to play what they think is a backside cutoff or play the inside release. And now I'm equalizing them a little bit, okay? And probably nobody understands this probably more than Nebraska, who always leads the country in rushing all the time. They run that counter scheme. I'll be a son of a bitch. Hey, they run the counter scheme, and our guys are trying to cross face it. They're stepping, they come zone, 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 and then all of a sudden, they must use the same thing like this. I guarantee you, here's what they do. Here's what they do. Because it's unbelievable, uncanny, how good they run this stuff, all right? They run zone right here, okay? These guys right here, they go, gray, gray, gray. What does gray mean? Gray means I'm going to release right through here and go get that backside backer. And you're going to come right down here and take that guy right there, and we're going to run the ball over here. Okay? All right. Now they get up here like this. These guys go, great, great, great. And this guy goes, oh shit, I've heard that shit before. So he goes, not so fast, big boy. Boom. And he goes, nice job, big boy. And he goes, oh boy, it works perfect, just like Coach said. Wham. Wham. Cut. Here we go. And out the back door. You know what I mean? I mean, it's uncanny. Every time I watch the film, I cannot believe how I said, it's like these guys are helping them run the play. But I believe that they use some of the same calls on the front side. You know, during the game, they just call, hey, you know, what's our backside scoop call? It's gray or black, whatever it is. And then they get up there, and now they're running the counter play, which is really what? A gap zone. It's a gap zone. But that's the same thing they were doing on the back side of the play. Well, now they're using the same call on the front side of the play because it's almost the exact same block. So they just make the same call, and here comes the play out the other side. And our guys are helping. Helping. Okay? So the gap schemes, I think, can, you know, it's kind of do this. They help eliminate the fact of the hard one-on-one drive block where, you know, you can actually, and I always say this, if you're going to be a good line coach and block some of this stuff, don't try to muscle guys. Use the defender's movement to create movement. That's the biggest thing you got to sell your players on. Use the defender's movement to create movement, okay? Okay, let's take a look at, looked at Desert Storm there. Let's take a look at, take a look at this here. All right. Oh, wait a minute here. Let's skip the page. All right. Oops. No, I didn't skip a page. That's all right. All right. Here. Okay. All right. This is an option stunt. How many times you guys seen this? That's a good option stunt, isn't it? Run what? Run the Sam for pitch, run the strong safety for quarterback. That's not what you're expecting to get. You're going to block this, you know, you're going to base block the Sam, take the quarterback out there and pitch on number 4 out there. Or you're going to block down, pull the guard, log the Sam, and get your quarterback on number 4. Well, that screws it up. Well, hey, that's another stunt that people run. So if you're an option team, what do you have to do? How do we handle that stunt? Don't wait to the week of the game to say, hey, what you should say is when we put option football in, this is a stunt that everybody's going to run. They're going to exchange assignments. So how are you going to handle it? Are you going to tell this guy, hey, look, you base this guy and stay on him and the quarterback pitches off of him? Or are you going to tell him, hey, and here's what, you know, here's what we did. Anytime that strong safety got in that box right there, the quarterback, anytime he was walking towards the box, quarterback said, stack it, stack it. All I told this guy was he was to read the stack. So he started off with blocking Sam. When the stack came in, he jumped in and took the strong safety. Took the guy who was going to take the quarterback, and we still ran our deal. Well, that's because we understood what they were trying to do. We understood what they were trying to do. But you got to work on that. You don't just go and say, hey, look, here's what I want you to do. I want you to start the block of Sam and then take this guy when he comes in. He'll look at you like, whoa, wait a minute. I mean, how am I supposed to do it? You got to teach him, coach him through that, okay?